What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to go ahead and title today's video. Maybe something like I don't know. This is why Black Ops 6 is garbage or something like that. You know, something nice and flashy for the YouTube algorithm. I know it pisses people off for some strange reason when it comes to YouTube. People act like, this isn't common practice and you're supposed to watch the actual creator, themselves and listen to the commentary and listen to the details, but it is what it is. But when I say Black Ops 6 is garbage, I'm not necessarily talking about the game itself because, as you guys know, if you do listen to my commentaries, you know that I actually don't think the gameplay is that shabby. And I am enjoying the direction that they're pushing Call of Duty ever since Modern Warfare 3 came to life. Modern Warfare 3 2023, because as we all know, they started to take a little bit of a slower approach to COD in the previous years. So it's nice to see them push for that fast-paced, gameplay. But when I say Black Ops 6 is garbage, I'm talking about the actual performance, the servers, all of the issues that we see on a year-to-year basis. And honestly, this right here is one of my biggest problems when it comes to the whole Call of Duty franchise. But ladies and gentlemen, just very quickly, if you guys do enjoy today's video and you want to see more stuff just like this, I post here daily at 8 morning Eastern time. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. And if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch. And I got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. All right, so I was going ahead and scrolling through Twitter, and I saw a post by Justin Taylor, who actually previously worked at, Activision, WWE, I believe Nike as well, multiple different, places. But he put out a post which really exposes exactly the main problem when it comes to the Call of Duty franchise, as you can see right here. If you want to know why Call of Duty has so many more hacking issues than any other game, I'll tell you. I worked at Activision for 4 years. Super simple. You have 3 studios, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, who don't want to work together, who basically start from scratch on the game each year. They haven't been building and making one product like Apex, Fortnite, Valorant, etc., and improving on the product over time. So every year you're buying a new product, and by the time they figure it out, a new studio with a new Call of Duty launches. Now, this post right here is more so directed to cheaters, but I'll be honest with you, I don't really see why in this post this would mean there's more cheaters within Call of Duty. Why multiple different teams working on their own version of the game means that we have a massive cheating problem. The reason we have cheating problem is Ricochet anti-cheat is absolute garbage, and there's only one team working on Ricochet anti-cheat, right? I don't think multiple different teams are, taking turns hopping on the anti-cheat to work on it. I'm pretty positive it's one team working on this anti-cheat throughout every single Call of Duty experience you could possibly imagine. So I'll be real, I don't really see where Justin is coming from saying that, these studios working separately is going to affect how many cheaters are actually in the experience. But that does not mean that this post means nothing, because to me personally, this post exposes something a lot worse than this issue right here. Well, maybe I shouldn't say a lot worse, because cheating is really freaking bad within Call of Duty. But again, my biggest complaint when it comes to COD is that we are constantly resetting all of the things that we just got done fixing up. Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2 2022, Modern Warfare 3 even. All of these games had the majority of the issues that Black Ops 6 has right at this current moment. Now, not as bad. I'll say right now this is probably the worst state I've seen a Call of Duty game left off, during the holiday season. Modern Warfare 2 2022 being a very close second. The only difference is that Modern Warfare 2 2022 Infinity Ward never came back and actually fixed the game. I'm hoping that Treyarch returns and fixes the game for Black Ops 6, but again, I'll be covering all this stuff as the months go on here. But again, all of these games suffered from similar problems, whether it's, the hit reg, the netcode, servers, so on and so forth, balance, everything, all of the above. And then they finally start to shape up the game, right? We get to near a little past the middle towards the end of the life cycle of the game. And things are finally shaping up. We're getting more content. The maps are getting a bit better because the base maps in a lot of those games weren't too great, right? A lot of the DLC maps were a lot better going down the road. And, the game starts to shape up a lot better towards the end. And then right when it's starting to be perfected, right when it's finally hitting its stride, they stop supporting it and they start hyping up and advertising the next Call of Duty game. and then the same thing repeats. They put out a brand new Call of Duty game that is going to run into the same issues, the same problems. It's going to take months on top of months on top of months to get it back into, the rotation, to make it hit its stride. And then at the end of the life cycle, it's finally there. And then they kill off the game and they start hyping up the next game and advertising the next game. And then they do the whole process over again. And it repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats, ladies and gentlemen. This right here, in my opinion, is the biggest issue with Call of Duty. They are continuously pumping out products instead of letting them sit, actually simmer. Modern Warfare 3 2023, in my opinion, would have been a phenomenal 2-year cycled game because of the amount of content it was receiving. Imagine being able to have that event drop where you have a brand new thing going on every single week, whether it's for camos or for more aftermarket parts. They're going to, splurge out with year 2 content, maybe, put in a crap ton of new weapons, a crap ton of new maps, get us all hyped up for the game again. The seasons are still coming out, obviously, so they can keep the seasons up. And we're just hitting our stride when it comes to Modern Warfare 3, where we're just getting it into place where it's working, it's functioning, there's barely any more problems. Packet burst is finally, resolved a bit more. They actually add in really cool features like, again, the loopable kill streaks and, all this other stuff that wasn't in the game at day one, but they implemented it later on in its life cycle. Modern Warfare 3 turned out awesome going towards the end, and then, bam, it vanishes. Now, of course, you could still go ahead and play it. But let's be real here. How Call of Duty works, it works with, everybody moving on to the newest title, and they push the old one to the back. Activision always just, they get the devs off of it, no more support, the developers aren't going to update it anymore. It's bye-bye, I said it a million times before, and I'm going to go ahead and say it again and again and again, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop saying it. If I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, if it annoys you, then it is what it is, but, I can't possibly see myself not making content about this in the future. And obviously not daily, but, every so often I like to, just throw it out there because I think it's very important for the future of COD. But this franchise needs to get off of the 1-year cycle, especially if they're trying to advance this game and improve it and really take it to a next-gen level. I mean, in my opinion, they're only really showing me that, with the time that they have, the amount of people that they have, they just can't get it accomplished. And I don't think it's because the people are completely incompetent. I just simply think it's because they keep, pumping out a new one every single year instead of just working on it, fixing it, and letting it thrive, right? If they just simply did that, we would have a Call of Duty game that is functioning, in year 2, year 3. But we don't. We always get a brand new COD game that's busted. It gets fixed by the end of its first year, and then it leaves. We get a new COD game that's once again busted because it's brand new. It's coming out fresh again. It's busted. They got to fix it up again. It gets good by the end of the year. It leaves. Like, this cycle has to come to an end, and the only way we could potentially get it to come to an end is either double the workforce. So instead of having 3,000 devs, maybe we need 6,000 devs to be able to get this accomplished. I don't know, but that's what it seems like. Or extend the amount of time these games are out. And imagine if, in a perfect world, in an absolutely perfect world, all these development teams would be able to work together. But according to this post, they don't want to. They are perfectly content staying in their own lanes and not even trying to incorporate different ideas, different concepts that they all come up with. Once again, it's like, it just blows my mind. Forget about the COD game lasting every 2 to 3 years. Imagine having one COD game with all 3 devs. I mean, we've all talked about this many of times. I'm pretty sure every content creator out there has talked about this. But seriously, just imagine having one COD game that lasts forever, like Call of Duty Mobile, that has all 3 dev teams on it, and they can actually work together, and they're not being egotistical, and they're not, trying to, gatekeep certain ideas and certain concepts. They're just, they're all working together, combining ideas, combining efforts, all of the above. That is the ideal Call of Duty experience. But right now, that's not what we got. Honestly, we have lazy devs. Devs with no passion. I hate to say it, and I don't want to talk for everybody, but let's be real here. A lot of the time, the developers just leave the game to just kind of roller coast for the rest of the year without even fixing it. Modern Warfare 3 2023 was the first COD game where I saw a ton of passion, and honestly, that game alone changed my perspective of Sledgehammer games. Sledgehammer went from I'm not lying, my most hated development team to now probably my favorite development team because they showed passion. passion. They showed love for the community. They showed that they loved the game. And that's what made me want this game. Well, not this game, XDefiant as well, which I'll talk about in a second here. But Modern Warfare 3, it's the reason why I wanted that game to last a little bit longer, because that's what we need out of Call of Duty. But now, again, the devs have the mindset that, all they have to do is maintain the franchise. That's it. It's not like the beginning days of COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, where the developers were literally building this game. This franchise was their baby, and they could actually innovate. Nowadays, COD has been out for so long that it's getting harder to innovate, and a lot of these developers are coming into making these games with the mindset that they're just maintaining the franchise. They're not building the franchise. They're not trying to evolve the franchise. They're maintaining the franchise. They are maintaining an IP that is already relevant, and they're just going to keep pumping it out because that's what Activision and Microsoft want them to do. And when you do that for a long period of time, guess what? You start losing the passion. You start losing the drive. And in my opinion, like I said, it's one of the reasons why we keep getting games that won't be complete. They will never be complete because the developers don't feel any reason to complete it because they know it's going to be dead within the year and a new Call of Duty game is going to come out, And again, the cycle repeats and then another Call of Duty game comes out and that one dies and another Call of Duty game comes out. So why, and this is a serious question. If you were in their shoes, seriously put yourself in their shoes. Why would you give a crap if you know the game that you are working so hard on is just going to be irrelevant within the year? Right? Seriously, why would you? I know I personally wouldn't have that much drive. I would probably be in airplane mode, especially with all the AI crap going on right now. All the passion is being taken out of these games, and it's disgusting. And again, it's hard to blame the devs because, like I said, if I put myself in their shoes, I would probably be doing the same thing. I would be straight up coasting through these titles, just getting my paycheck and moving on with my day. But again, like I said earlier, I wanted to mention XDefiant as well because, that's what kills me so much about this game. This game right here specifically is that nobody gave it a chance. COD drops with netcode problems and hit reg problems every single year. And like I said, it's proof that when a new game drops, it has to be fixed up because at the end of the year, it works. It's normal. It's resolved. It's never a problem. But every single time a new COD game comes out, a fresh one, we get the same problems again. And this happens in every game I could think of. Apex Legends, Rainbow Six Siege. My God, the netcode in that game was horrendous for the first, year. Every game I could possibly think of has these issues. Battlefield, they all have these problems in the beginning, and they have to be polished over time. XDefiant just simply never got that time. And it's hilarious because people keep saying, oh, well, they had 3 years to get it together. The game has to be in a live environment. Guess what? Call of Duty has been out for how many years? And they still release a game every year? And it still has the same netcode problems? I mean, if your logic for XDefiant having 3 years to put it together when the game wasn't out is, solid, and you really think that's a solid point, then why hasn't COD perfected it? Why can't Call of Duty release a game every year with perfect netcode? Because the game has to be live. And XDefiant went live. They tried to fix the netcode because it needed to be live. We needed public, servers live and up and going so we can actually resolve the issues correctly. And it just never got the chance to, reach its full stride. And it was getting so close to doing so. It just hurts. I just had to mention that because, again, the amount of times I've seen, people hate on XDefiant for such a thing while Call of Duty is still here. We're still running into the same problems. It blows my mind. But the moral of the story here is that I personally think this franchise needs to go on a longer cycle, and these developers need to actually have a passion for this franchise together. Instead of trying to have their own little echo chamber on what they think Call of Duty should be completely, which again, like I said in the beginning of the video, Call of Duty has been like that partially, even in the beginning days. You could always tell an Infinity Ward game apart from a Treyarch game. But, the way the developers are handling these situations now, I think it has to come to an end, and they have to unite. And honestly, I think that would help the community, as well, especially when we have to deal with Activision 24/7. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, go down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about all this information, what you guys think about the topics, so on and so forth. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 morning Eastern time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting at around 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. You guys find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.